15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake of fact, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the Lay Poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here, now your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. I am really excited for tonight's episode. The off season just drags on, and I'm getting sick of fighting people about Stephon Diggs on Twitter. And I guess he just came out with a little GQ article earlier that came out this week, so everybody got riled up about that. So I was fighting with people. I am just so happy that all of that is done. Football is back officially tonight, and the Bills play on Sunday, 1 o'clock against the Arizona Cardinals at the Ralph. I am just so excited. Joining me tonight, as always, my co-host, Riding Shotgun, Adam Dump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. We made it. The offseason is over. Football is back, man. We finally made it, man. Golly, it's been so long.
Exhausting offseason, Rob. What's up, Nickel City? Rob, Mafia, everybody, yes. Nickel City Crew, kickoff special tonight, right? We're here, week one, First day of school. Get them new shoes out, get them new clothes out. It's time to go out there and stun on them. And I mean, as we roll, we say it every year. It starts off week one, and then before you know it, it's Christmas, New Year, and the Super Bowl. And next week when we do our show, it's going to be game day week 2. That's right. So. We're already kicking and rolling, and man, I'm so sick of everything this offseason, Rob. We just gotta let the pads start hitting each other, man, and get out there and do it, dude. Get out there and do it. I'm pumped up. It's gonna be a good weekend, good Sunday coming up. I'm happy to get into it. Happy to be here. Week 1, we're back.
Let's go, man. It's so funny because you were saying it last week how you're just getting that energy, that juice as the season starts to come, and it's funny because I was talking to you this week, and it was like literally like a switch. Like flipped for me on Monday, and like I woke up Monday in a better mood. I was just ready to go, and like I was texting you, and like man, like we were making plans and tailgate plans, and I was just in a whole different type of energy, and I was really appreciating that. We appreciate you as well, the viewers, for joining us tonight. Again, tonight kicks off Kansas City and Baltimore. I think DT just told me that the game got pushed back a little bit due to some rain or something like that. So we'll try to squeeze this episode in before as everybody gets ready to watch week 1 and the 2024 season kickoff. I was really excited for tonight's episode, DT, and I told you about it because it's the reason I named it was because the Bills, they mean family for me personally, and I know that they do for you as well. And, I had no choice in it. I was born into it, DT, 5, 6, 7, and 8, as everybody knows, for the Super Bowl run. And, I remember my earliest memories of the Bills were just, riding home from church, with my parents and listening to the Bills on the radio with Van Miller, and then running into the house as soon as I got home. I went to those black churches where, they hold extra late. My mother was popular in the church, so we had to wait for her to finish saying goodbye to everybody. And I was like, oh my, please come on, get in the car so I can at least hear the game. And we lived out in the country, so it took us some time to get home. It took us like a good 30 minutes to get all the way back out to Pendleton. And man, I just remember those Sundays and just watching the games and stuff like that. And my dad, it was funny, DT, because I know you've got stories as well with your family, but my dad he was a Bills fan, but he was a closet Bills fan. He used to love to talk shit about Jim Kelly and say that he threw too many picks. And then it was funny this year when they were talking about Josh Allen overrated. It was kind of ironic because I remember my dad, he's a bum. But I mean, he went to 4 straight Super Bowls, and my dad was such a big part of my life growing up with the Bills. And they threw a party. I remember that for Super Bowl 25. I remember crying like a baby. And it's just been so crazy and how integrated the Bills and my family have been from the beginning. And then, it's funny because things just start to transition as you get older and you have more options and different things like that. So, I know everybody from those Super Bowl teams, and like I could remember, quoting the rosters and different things like that because they left such an impression on me. And like I was interested to know what your earliest Bills memories were, because for me, it was definitely those car rides home, back home, and just listening to Van Miller on the radio and things like that. And then, like I said, just watching with my dad and then seeing him get excited, and he would go, oh, ho, ho, oh, ho, ho, when, Thurman would break out or when Andre would break out. And I would be saying to myself, like, yeah, you're a real fan. Like, you always that casual, but you really love the Bills. And like, that's like my first memories, DT. And I was interested to hear yours because this is what it's all about, man. Just being a fan, being a part of the Mafia has meant a lot to me and my family for sure.
Yeah, 100%, Robin. I mean, look at us. A couple
Yeah,
years in, and
we go tell them
we're family by now, and our whole crew. Shout out our whole tailgate crew, and everybody
Absolutely.
in between. But that's true. From the jump, from the start, I didn't grow up in Buffalo. Just out in the outskirts and down in Jamestown, New York. So it's not like I grew up in the in the town itself, but obviously was a close enough second. Had a little bit of Steelers fandom down in my area as well. You get down to Erie, PA, it's a lot of Steelers fans. So we're kind of on the border between the Steelers and the Bills, but I'm right there with you. I didn't have any other choice. My same type of deal. My dad was kind of a closet fan. Still to this day likes the Bills.
I love it. Yeah.
It's tough to watch a game with him because he's just, just like a little negative on it, and I can't be having that in game day. But my grandfather, he was the Bills fanatic, top to bottom, and we were very similar. I was close to him and had season tickets when him and my grandma got season tickets when, since I could remember. And that 1 to 2 games a year, I would get the invite. That was a big, big day. Talk about it all week in school, leading up to that. We're probably like third, fourth grade, leading up to that. I had an white Eric Moulds jersey with the blue shoulders, and a Bills flag. And I would put the Bills flag around my neck like a tape. and wear that Eric Moulds jersey and like right with my mom's mascara, something on my cheeks, like whatever player, Tequila Spikes or 51 or whoever we were rooting for. And I'll never forget my first game. We parked over at Twin Oaks. Shout out Twin Oaks Motel. No free ads. We don't go out there nowadays, but Twin Oaks still there, still rocking. And hit Aunt Millie's in Silver Creek for a breakfast on game day. We pick up my grandma and grandpa's friends, Gary and Barb, in Faulkner, New York, and we'd head to Aunt Millie's in Silver Creek, get a good home style breakfast in us, and to the tailgate we go. And I remember walking in and seeing the Mafia for the first time and smelling that charcoal and the open flames and and it was just like, this is home, baby. This is home. Like the air just felt right. And I remember it, vividly. It's crazy how strongly I remember. I can't remember, what I had for lunch today, but I remember that first Bills game so clearly. I'm walking through, the lots, basically right where the new stadium is being built is where I'm walking through. Okay. And somebody was, I didn't know, at the time, but somebody was shotgunning a beer. And so, they crank it up, and I'm third, fourth grade, got no idea what's going on, and spike it down, but they didn't finish it all, right? So, and it was still had the pressure in it. So the rock's just in it, and it's just on the ground, just spraying, the beer fountain just spraying in the parking lot.
I love it.
We just kind of stepped over it and kept it moving, and little did I know that I would be baptized in that parking lot time and time again.
Yeah, you the champ.
It was Bears. It was Bears in Buffalo. Obviously, we sat in the season tickets, 113 tunnel side, right next to the tunnel, row 35, and we're right on the end there. Got on the jumbotron. The band, when we used to, when bands used to come in before we had the. What are they called now? I try to forget about them because I miss the Jills, but what are they? Stampede. The Stampede. But when we used to have bands come in, like a high school band or a college band would come in, right? And they were up in the front rows of that section. Well, they played at halftime and then bailed out of there.
Okay.
So the security guards came around the section, got all the kids, and moved us down to front row,
Well, that's awesome.
right on the edge of the, right, literally
Oh, the
front row on
wall.
the edge of on the wall.
Yeah, that's hot.
Reamersma had a tutty right in front of me. Jay Reamersma,
Beautiful.
right up top.
Yes.
Beautiful win, and I just remember watching that clock and not wanting it to tick down. I wanted to
Yeah.
stay in that stadium literally forever. I never
Yeah.
wanted to leave, and going back and bragging at school about the game and going and everything like that. And then I remember I had a great first experience, but then my second experience, I met Ralph Wilson in
Really?
the concourse. Literally, yeah. My grandpa's big photographer that loved
Okay.
taking pictures.
Okay.
And he was an outdoorsman, so always had a great camera roll and always had his camera on him.
Hmm.
And we're walking through the concourse, and no shit, it's just Ralph Wilson just walking. I think he had the security or something, but he just
Sure.
walking through, like
Yeah.
wasn't in a private area, just walking through. And it's like, that's Ralph Wilson. I was like,
That's what's
yeah.
up.
I got a picture of my grandma's house. It's just me as a I still got the baby face cheeks, but the
Yeah. Yeah.
baby face kids in that Molds jersey, in that cape, and my grandpa with his Tequila Spikes jersey, and
That's
we're
sweet.
just with Ralph Wilson, and it looked like he's a wax figure. It didn't even look like he's a real person at that
Right.
time, So,
Right.
and just continued on, and then, grow up into through my grandfather had the tickets, and then he passed away, and that was right about the time I was in college with Stefan and Brandon and them, and
Brandon.
we were like, let's get these tickets. It's affordable. We can do it. Our buddy DJ lives in Buffalo, and we'll get into the rest, but the rest is history,
Yeah.
right? So
That's
it's deep
crazy.
rooted. It means a
Yeah.
lot to me.
Yeah.
This team is. I learned to love them like a lot of people in the worst of their years and through the
Hmm.
drought, and
Hmm.
didn't know any better, and so that's why it's such a good feeling now. And now I live in Buffalo, and so like I'm seeing all the things that like I not miss necessarily because
I
there's
know
Bills
what you mean.
fans around me, but
I know
miss
what you
growing up.
mean.
I come out on my porch and take a deep breath on a Sunday morning, and everyone's got their flags out and their
That's
jersey
right.
on. You go to Wegmans and it's loaded, and it's just a great vibe. And I almost feel like it's become an identity of mine. I like go home and I'm like talking to family, and I'm just talking about the Bills, like I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we got a big one coming up this week, Grandma. And she's like,
Yep.
oh yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, we got a tough one this week. So it's awesome. I love every bit
It's
of it. I'm
it's
glad it's been part of my life, and
it's funny that you
it's
said
deep
that.
rooted. Yeah.
It's deep rooted, like you said, because and even the vibe part, because the vibe leads me into my story with the season tickets, because that's it, like to a T. Like that's how it was growing up. And you're absolutely right. You described it perfectly. Like, living in the city, there was a buzz, if you will, around the city when the Bills were playing. And like you said, Wegmans and all just everything about it. There's a vibe to it. You know what I mean? And I moved down, to Charlotte in '06. So I moved like literally a week after the ice storm. So for those of you who remember '06, in the fall, there was a major ice storm. I mean, there was just, ice was on the streets, on the doors, cars, everything. And when it thawed out, I left like a week later and moved down to Charlotte. And it's so funny that you said vibes, because by 2009, DT, like it was like a real thing. Like I missed the team. Like I missed those Sundays. I missed even the Saturdays and getting ready. Or what are we going to get? We're going to go to Wegmans and we're going to go grab this for tomorrow. And like, I was down here in Charlotte and like, I had none of that, like no connection to the team other than, listen to the radio and stuff like that. And podcasts hadn't really blown up too much like that at that time in '06. And like, it was a physical, like I missed my team. I missed being around the people and the buzz leading up to Sundays. And, it was funny. I just was like, you know what? I talked to my ex-wife and I was like, man, we're both from Buffalo. And I was like, man, I looked at the season tickets. They were the second cheapest season tickets in the league behind the Cleveland Browns. I mean, you couldn't beat it with the price. And I was like, man, we can kill two birds, one stone, take the kids up there and see, like it all works. And like, that was it, man. '06, I had the season tickets and I just never, ever looked back. Like in 2009. And like, I missed them so much that I got the season tickets, and then everybody down here in Charlotte would look at me crazy and like, what? You have season tickets to the Bills, but you live here? I'm like, yeah. And then like, you drive up for the games? And I'm like, yeah, I do, and like, it was just one of those crazy things where I just needed to be around that energy that you're talking about, which leads me to meeting you, DT, because that's why I named the episode the way that I did. Yo, you good? All right, my bad.
Yeah,
So
we're
the
back.
Mafia means family, basically, and I clicked the wrong button. But the Mafia, I getting excited. Like the Mafia means family, and you know, I met you when I had season tickets for a few years, and like it was funny because I would tell stories of like tailgating and all that type of stuff, and tell everybody down here in Charlotte like how fun it was and stuff like that. But I grew up right in the suburbs. And then I, went to church in the inner city. And like I was hanging out with my cousin downtown. And all of a sudden, I'm on the corner of Allen Street and Delaware. And I see you, and we're walking across the street at nighttime, going to hit up the clubs and going to hit up Allen Street and the bars and stuff like that. And just like you said, you just can't stop talking about the Bills. And like I can't stop talking about the Bills. So it was like just a casual conversation. So Nickel City Crew, imagine DT and I just walking across the street, crossing over Delaware on Allen Street, and just walking down. And it was no big deal. And hey, what do you think about the Bills and this and that? I can't remember the exact conversation, but we were just chopping it up for a quick minute because we were going in the same direction. And you and I weren't in the same crew. We weren't rolling together or anything like that. And I see you at the bar later that night at one of the bars on Allen Street. And so we bought each other a shot and had a couple drinks or whatever the case may be, and good conversation. I didn't really think anything of it. Didn't trade numbers. Didn't, I don't even know if I caught your name or anything like that at the time. Like, just another Bills fan. And that's kind of how the Mafia works. Like you don't have to be formal. Everything could just be informal because the Bills are the connective tissue. And that's exactly how I felt when I met you. And it was so funny because the next morning, I get to my tailgate spot. We tailgate at California Southwestern in the grass lots right in front of the stadium. I've been there ever since I've been a Bills fan in respects to tailgating. And it was the craziest thing because I get out of the car, my boys are there saying what's up to people. And I look to the right and I'm like, that's the motherfucker from that's the dude from last Valley Street. I'm like, yo, what up, man? And it's so funny. And the story I always tell is that I didn't even know your name, like necessarily like your real name. Like I didn't know your name was Adam. And like I think I called you a different name for a little while. You were so cool. You didn't even correct me. And like that still blows my mind because I would not even let somebody call me the wrong name. Like if I say Rob and people like Rod, I'm like, no, Rob, R-O-B. Like I'll spell it out for him because I'm not letting you mess up my name. And it was so funny how chill you were. You didn't even correct me. And we saw each other, and literally, man, like we've been rolling since then. Like it's such a crazy story because we didn't even take the initiative to like trade numbers or anything like that the night before, and it just popped up and you were like literally right there. It's the craziest, man. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Nickel City. That's why it's us. That's why it's the bond. That's why we got it. I mean, to go deeper into that, it was let's talk about some grit here, right? You're driving,
and shout out to over 500 before go ahead. Shout out over 500 people on kickoff night watching tonight, man. We appreciate you guys on all platforms. Go ahead, man.
Get you primed up. Get you pumped up.
I love it, man. I love it, man. I love it. We love you guys.
Yeah, I mean,
we love
some grit. I mean, Buffalo, blue collar, grit city, grit team, everything like that. You're driving 8 hours both ways to just come up for the weekend.
That's right.
My situation at that time, I was working in Syracuse, fresh out of college, living with the boys, Steph and Brandon, you know the squad.
Yeah.
And we would plan out the season. We were going to eight every game. We weren't missing one. In the summer, we'd pick out of a hat to see who was driving to each game.
Right. Okay.
You'd be responsible for okay, you got 2 games. I'm driving this one and this one. And what I did in those situations, I always had my buddy Mark. I think you've met Mark a few times. He lives down in Florida. Shout out Mark Caboni, one of the greatest dudes I've ever met. He would come up because he had a lot of friends in Buffalo. So he'd ride with us from Syracuse. He'd go out with us, for the weekend, and then he would be sleeping in. Didn't care, he's not a Bills fan, so he'd be sleeping in, and then get an Uber down to the lot, and then drive us home. But when it was
so you had a DD,
so I swindled my way, so I didn't have to drive too much back. And I don't know if the boys would have liked me. I wasn't the best driver back then, when it came to that. So we'd leave Friday night. Get out. I'd get out of Enterprise. Shout out the Cream Machine. 6:30. Late. We'd pile in the car. For the 2 days. We'd go to our boy DJ's that lived over by Deauville on the Armory over there next to off on Niagara Street.
Mm-hmm.
We'd roll in, we'd get our drinks, we'd play, drinking card games till 10, 11 o'clock, go out on Allen Street, stay out till
Yes,
3, 4 in the morning,
sure would.
sleep on a floor, a couch, who knows what we were sleeping on. Wake up, go
I
to a
love it.
brunch, maybe see something in the city, and then
Mm-hmm.
start getting after it again. Go out again Saturday night
Saturday
till
night.
3, 4 in the
Yep.
morning, and 7 a.m. we're up, getting our layers on, getting ready to head out to the Ralph and get there, before the sun comes up, and join the tailgate with y'all. And yeah, that first day, I think we were talking big Charles Clay talk when we were
Yes,
talking,
yes, because I got you.
you were
Yes, I called you.
that's how you yelled at me. You yelled at me
Yes,
across the lot, from a
yeah.
couple over. You're like, "Yo, Charles
Charles
Clay,"
Clay.
and I
Charles
turned like,
Clay.
"No
Yeah.
shit." And then you got me the Charles Clay jersey. And,
Yep, a red one. I remember that. Yep.
and we did that first year was funny because those kids, I don't know, Boy Scouts, some sort of team or Boy
Oh
Scouts, they
yes.
were selling the chocolate
Oh,
bars,
they would
right?
come around. Yes. So Nickel
And you
City
would,
crew, they
week
come
one,
around. Yeah.
yeah, week
Yeah.
one, you buy one, and you come up, and like you walk up, and we do like an interview with the kid, like it was like a post game interview. Week two, you get 2 chocolate bars, and you come up, and then by the
Yeah.
end of the year, it's like week 12,
Give
the
them
kid would
20
come up and
bucks.
say, "Hey, this guy bought you all these chocolate bars,"
And he
and
told you to stay
I'd look
healthy.
over, you'd be with your squad laughing, yeah, you'd be over laughing with your squad, frying a turkey, and
Oh
yeah,
man.
man, it was awesome. But the grit of that, you driving both ways, and us putting in that 48-hour, degenerate shift, and then getting in that car, driving back to Syracuse, and then working on Monday. My boss at that time can vouch for that. I was zombied for a couple
Yeah.
days, So
Yeah.
I can't be doing that shit anymore. I need my 8 hours. I need my California
California. Yeah, your beauty rest. It's
king. I
funny.
need my memory foam. I got
Yeah, it's funny because like
4 a.m.
I came up
floor.
for him. Yeah, I came up for him, but like, at the time, it was like, kids and stuff like that. And like, it was like a situation where, as I got older, like, I couldn't make it for all like the winter games and stuff like that if it was too cold or whatever the case may be. So I would sell them back. And I looked at it like, man, the Bills already got my money. You know what I mean? So like, I don't have anything else to prove. So if it was a bad weekend or something like that, like I missed the snow globe game against Indy and stuff like that. So I would sell them back, but I looked at it like, I never looked at it like I was a bigger Bills fan than anybody in Western New York or any other Bills fan that spread out across the country. It just means that I just had a different level of dedication. Like there was no play, like the words of Marv Levy really, like those resonated with me in my life. Like there was no place I'd rather be than right there at the Ralph on a Sunday. If the Bills were at home, I wanted to be there, like period. And there was just everything that you talk about, like with the smells and stuff like that, like that's all what lured me in to make me a season ticket holder. It was the smell. It was getting out there, as it's sunrise and it's just smelling the fires and stuff like that and seeing the people out and everybody's got their setups. And then, how it is in the grass lots, everybody's around the perimeter first. And, you're looking at people all across the parking lot and they're all getting their stuff set up. And like, that was it for me. You know what I mean? And you hit it on the head, DT, because a lot of Bills Mafia, you guys remember it. Like the drought was shitty. Like, I mean, 09 was, the 50th anniversary year. So that was the year I signed up. And that's, one of the things, the nostalgia got me as well. They had the website was running, the BuffaloBills.com was running like the greatest players in Bills history at every single position. And, you could vote on it and stuff like that. So I was hooked in to all of that type of stuff. And that's really what pushed me over the edge to go ahead and get them along with the price. But like, I never looked at it like I was a bigger Bills fan, but I just didn't want to be anywhere else, DT. Like I didn't. So yes, the 9-hour drive, 1,300 miles round trip, like it was no sweat. Like I didn't even, it was not even a big deal. And then when people look at me like I had 6 heads, I'm like, man, I love my squad. Like, why would I not want to see them play live in person? Like, yeah, the TV's got a great product, but back then, like I was really dedicated, and I definitely didn't want to be anywhere else on a Sunday if the Bills are playing at home. And that's how it went for me, man. Now, it's funny that you say that because, I never skipped any years except for the years that my kids were born. My 3 kings, Bobby, Nate, and Quincy, were in 11, 13, and 19. So, I skipped those particular seasons, and I would just pick right back up the next year with my season ticket representative there, One Bills Drive. And it's funny because we've got breaking news, DT, for Nickel City Crew. I'm skipping my season tickets this year. I'm going to see you on Saturday, and I'll be up there for the home opener because it's like a Bills holiday. I don't want to miss it. But Nickel City Crew, I've got Princess coming. My first girl, me and my girlfriend Jody are welcoming my first girl, Princess Ivy. Ivy is coming in the building next month. She will be in the building, and like I am, I'm really excited. My girlfriend Jody, she's really excited, and we just can't wait to welcome her. Their brothers are already ready. I told them the Kings, and they're excited. They're amped up to be big brothers. Bobby's already telling he's gonna kick kids' asses if they mess with her, and Nate's the same way. So I can't wait. You know, she's already got like a little mini fortress around her. So yeah, I've got 2 girls coming in respects to Princess Ivy, her sister Flo. So now I've got 2 daughters and then 3 boys. So I'm skipping season tickets, Nickel City Crew. I had to call my season ticket lady this year, and I was like, I'm having a baby. I'm out. Like, those are the only times I've ever skipped. And she's like, well, Rob, we hope you come back next year. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'll be back next year because I'm probably not going to that new palace in respects to those PSLs. So I'll hop back on next year. But DT, man, you're about to be an uncle. What's up again?
It's family. It's family all the way around.
Bill's equal family.
Congratulations to you, Jody, and the family. That's awesome, man. You know, the Kings now got someone to protect and someone to look after. And you know, I remember, you know, you broke the news to me, obviously before this breakdown, and we were sending that the meme of Bad Boys, you know, when the dude comes to the
Reggie when Reggie comes to the door.
Reggie. So maybe that could be you and me someday when
absolutely
gets her first date, and we can shake that dude down. But
absolutely,
that's awesome. And that's what we're talking about, right, Rob? The Mafia, the family. How it feels like a family, the whole neighborhood, the whole community is a family, and then
it really does.
Actually incorporating that into your actual family it's a beautiful thing, man. And you know, I can't wait to have kids of my own to join yours and join make our own team, basically. You know, and all the way around. The funny story with that, the season tickets that Steph and Brandon and I had up in 329 for these years. The lady next to us has 7 kids, right? Her and her husband have 7 kids, and they bring a different kid. They have 3 seats, and they bring a different kid to every game. So it's husband, wife, and a new kid every game. And it was just like, damn, like that would be, you know, that's like kind of a dream, dope. Right? So just cycle them through, get to every game, be right. So that's awesome. I'm proud of you. I'm proud to hear that. Nickel City Crew, big news coming, and it's a beautiful thing. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'm nervous as hell, you know, for sure. But, you know, with three boys, you know, I'm not sure what, you know, Barbies and you know, all the different stuff that comes with it. Peppa Pig, you know, I think, or I don't even know, you know, Coco Melon, all that type of stuff. You know, some of the boys did some of that stuff too. But, you know, girls are just a different beast. But I'm excited. Can't wait. The boys are excited to meet their little sister, and they already love Flo as well. So we're one big happy family, man. And like I said, the Bills equal family to me. I wanted to, you know, as we begin to, you know, start to wrap up again, tonight's episode, as all episodes, are presented by 26 Shirts here on Buffalo Fanbase, the official Bills Mafia podcast network that DT and I simulcast on. Head on over to 26shirts.com for all of your latest Buffalo Bill themed t-shirts and Buffalo Sabres t-shirts, Buffalo City t-shirts. I know that I just saw on Twitter earlier tonight, Del Reed's got a pop-up tent going on, I think off of Elmwood. So head on over to 26shirts.com or check out Del Reed on his Twitter, and he'll give you the location. I think it was on Elmwood. I'm pretty sure. They've got a pop-up tent, like $20 t-shirts. You guys can go there. And again, portions of the proceeds, the key thing, portions of the proceeds go to a great cause. They're going to a family that's in need somewhere in Western New York or around the world. You're going to be supporting a good cause if you support. So head on over to 26shirts.com. DT, I was interested because you were talking about your fandom and how it started, because I looked up Panama the other day, and I was like, Panama is, you know, west of Jamestown, and I'm like off of 86, and I'm like, how did this kid from all the way in Panama City, little tight end, become like a rabid Bills fan, and he's all the way you know, here, and I'm meeting him on Allen Street, you know what I mean, that night. Like, I was wondering how, like, so it was all shaped from a young age. Even out there, they had Bills Mafia was represented out there in Panama City.
Yeah, but like I said, it was a little split, you know, because you had the Steelers. You were in Steelers country,
sure,
you know, and Bills country, and the Steelers were a lot better than the Bills then. You know, so you know, if you were picking bandwagon, it would have been a lot easier to roll with, you know, Roethlisberger and the boys, and, you know, and get it done. But you know, just something about it, and like I said, my grandfather was obviously a big factor in that.
Force.
And, you know, big sports fan. We you know, when I was, you know, kindergarten, first, second grade, we would be going. he'd be following the Panama High School, the varsity games. We'd be driving all over God's creation to go to these games, on Saturday afternoon, just because he loved ball, just watching sports,
Yeah.
going to all the basketball games, winning the 50-50s. And before I was even near high school to play, sports were just a thing. And then my grandpa, definitely was a big part of, and, the Bills were part of it. So I just kind of jumped on that and tagged along, and, it was a family affair, just like you said, a family affair. And then kind of getting. My mom was always in. My mom actually, big news, Nickel City Crew. She's going to be out of all this. She's been to a few preseason games with like midget football and stuff like that when we would go up, but never been to a regular season. Season. So this year is going to be Mama Dump Truck's first game. First game this year. We're going to pick one. Maybe mid-season, something light, and get in there and show her the experience. So I'm excited for that too this year. And obviously she's taken on and loves the podcast and everything. And it's like, I want to get in. I want to meet your friends. I want to see what's going on out here. So we're excited for that too. So you can't say enough. It's a family affair. It's all there. I follow the family, and then never gave up. Never gave up of the years of like, man, maybe I should just like another team and like get somebody halfway decent.
No, hell no.
And then, no, I'm in it. I'm in it all the way. High school, I'm in it all the way. And then college was a good time because I got to, I met my friends, and blessed for all them I met, and most of them were Bills fans. So I was able to kind of stick to the Bills. And then all those, I spoke about it last week's episode, all those downstate kids, all those Jets fans, and that just pissed me off, so so that kind of dug me in on the Bills a little more. And then, obviously the playoff berth, and the rest is history.
The rest is history, man.
Baby. I'll never not be a Bills fan the rest of my life, no matter what. No matter what Bon Jovi does, no matter what happens. I will never not be a Bills fan. And I
can't even imagine a world, man. I couldn't even imagine. Even with skipping season tickets this year, it's the same thing. Like even when all my Kings were born, I was still watching all the games and locked in and cooking out at the house. So we'll do that same thing this year. And it's so funny because Joker would there's just no other choice. And it was funny because my girlfriend, she's not the biggest sports fan or anything like that, but like she already knows, and she knows that like there's no getting around it. Like they got to be baptized. So I taught my little daughter Flo like the shout song. She knows it now, like she knows the words, and she says hey, and like just baptize them into it. So like there's no getting around it, man. Like the Bills equal family, and so that's the way it's got to be.
Bobby and Nate to the Patriots game 2 years ago.
That was their first game. Yep. And their first regular season game.
And I called the house.
You called the kickoff return.
Naeem Hines opening.
You called it on the way to the tailgate. We went to breakfast.
On the ride. And I had like an emotional. I was sitting with Ben and Anna Kay. Shout out Ben and Anna Kay. We'll see them Sunday. Ready to rock. I was sitting with them in their seats, and it took it back, and it all hit because I remember telling you guys in the car about it, and just like. And then it set in like Rob brought his boys to this game, and
I sent you a text message, and I was like, "You called it."
And it's just like the emotion of like I can't wait till I can bring my boys to the game and have that experience with them, and because I knew like I just knew across the stadium how pumped up you guys were, and like it literally made me shed a tear.
I was like, "Dump Truck!" I was like, "Uncle Dump Truck said it. He called it. He said it. He said
just that excitement. That genuine excitement is what you can't replicate. And just like growing at just losing it. It's awesome.
It was amazing.
I don't envy you for that. I'm proud of that, but I can't wait till I can have that moment, and because I'm sure it was awesome.
No, it was amazing. You're absolutely right. On the way to the stadium, Nickel City Crew, Bills Mafia dump truck, literally, he literally says, "You know what? I feel like there's a return coming today." And like, I'm just driving and I'm not paying much attention or whatever the case may be. And like I said, it was Bobby and Nate's first game. So they were all amped up. Breakfast at Pancake House was perfect right there in OP. And then yes, when Naeem Hines ran that back, just everything, Damar Hamlin being back in the building, you making that prediction for whatever reason you wanted to make that prediction, and then like to see, and then he's running to us, like running right to because we're on the scoreboard side, and we're in the end zone, and I was just like, I could not believe that he was about to score a touchdown. I'm like, DT, and I just look at Nate and Bobby, I'm like, Uncle DT called it, and they were just going crazy. And Nate is a mini me for sure. He's a Bills fanatic. Bobby's a little bit more chill but Nate is he's up on Sundays. He's yelling at the TV just like me, and I definitely I really just can't. I can't imagine my life without the Bills. Shout out Horns and Hooves. Lots of good memories, including the Dallas game last December, and looking forward to going to Seattle next month. Enjoy that, Horns and Hooves. That's pretty sweet. That's a cross country trip. I'm not driving that shit. I mean, I'm dedicated, but I didn't go to away games. But that's crazy. Shout out to Horns and Hooves. That's what's up. As we begin to wrap up tonight, DT, the first ever for the 2024 season Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report. It is back presented. It is back presented by 26 Shirts. Listen, it's funny because I drive up Saturday. I got to work. Unfortunately, usually I would come up like you did. I'd come up on Friday, spend a couple days and stuff like that, and then leave on Monday. But I got to work, so I'll come on Saturday, leave early in the morning, and then I'll be up in the town right around the afternoon, 2 or 3 o'clock, depending on how early I can hit the road. And then I just, it's funny when you live out of town, you got to hit the rounds, and it's like a president, you're going and kissing babies and shaking hands, and you got to go see all my people. So I got to go see a couple cousins, and my best friend Ace is up there, and he's got a baby as well, a little girl now. So I got to go see a couple people. But DT, we're just going to go on cruise control in honor of Princess Ivy, in honor of of the fact that it's sad, but it's for a great reason. It's sad that I'm not going to have the season tickets this year, but again, I've only ever skipped for them. So kids are a great blessing from God. So it's all good. Like, let's just take it easy. Let's get a couple breakfast pizzas. I think we'll get some sub trays, and we're just gonna just chill, man. I want to be out there early, but Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report. We're gonna just easy ride and go to Tops, get some breakfast pizzas, and then just get to the stadium and easy ride it, man. There's no hoopla, no frying turkey this week, no shooting them up like Barry Bonds. I'll save that for down here in Charlotte this year, man. I think we're just gonna chill, easy ride.
Well, I like your sleight
Enjoy,
of hand.
take it in.
I like your sleight of hand. It's good to tell the listeners we'll try to be modest Sunday, but you and I both know we talked about that air. When we get out of that car together on Sunday morning, we're gonna take that breath of that crisp charcoal air. And we're gonna hear Big Ben on the ones and twos. Getting it loud in here, playing some Rick Ross song, getting us pumped up. And we'll be chilling, and then we won't be. It's week one after all. It's home opener. It's the holiday. It's the vibe. We got a good crew coming with us. Some first timers. At least first timers to our whole setup and our tailgate experience. And we got to show them a good time. And I just think the vibes are going to get us, and we're gonna really enjoy it. But we are professional tailgaters. I keep telling people this. I consider myself a professional tailgater. I can look at my watch at any time from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. till kick,
right,
and know exactly where I need to be, vibe-wise, straight-wise. Look at the watch. It's 9:30. Oh, all right, got to take a few off. Maybe I'll get a water in me. Go over to the food table for a while. Or oh damn, it's 10 o'clock. I've been talking too much. I gotta go, hit a beer missile or play some type of drinking game to get myself right. So
absolutely.
We are professional tailgaters. I've told everyone that's going with us this week, don't worry, enjoy yourself. I'll keep eyes up. If I see we start wavering, I'll bring us back. If I see we're not waving enough, well, I'll get us wavy. So
I love it.
We are professional tailgaters.
We are
at Nickel City Crew. And we will be doing that Sunday, but it's holiday, baby. We're going to be getting after it.
Absolutely. I mean, I got to let loose. I got to let my hair down. I'm only coming up for this one game, so I got to definitely take it in for sure. But I meant easy riding as in like the tailgating, preparing food. I know that we'll definitely get after it, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm really excited about that. Now, this says a weather change as we close up tonight. Says a weather change. DT, it was 80s today in Buffalo, and it's going to be like 62. What happened? Y'all supposed to bring the good weather for us, man. What's up?
Straight. It's ball weather. It's ball weather, baby.
Cool and crisp.
I've been hawking this weather literally every day, hour by hour.
On my phone. I'm on it every day.
It was a little sprinkle looking in the morning, but now it's kind of transitioning to a clear morning. Going to be cool, which I kind of like. Wake up with that crisp air and then by 10, 11 o'clock, it's gonna start feeling real comfortable. Hopefully that sun's creeping out,
Yeah, that'd
and
be
then
nice.
you're getting your own type of jacket on with the whatever's in the cup, and we walk in there at 1 o'clock ready to go. So I think it's
I
going to
love
turn
it.
out to a real nice day. It's probably about a month early, right? This is probably the weather we're looking at like the October
Yeah,
1st game.
exactly. That's what I meant by that. Yeah. Usually
But
it's still
yeah,
hot, for that first game. You can wear shorts.
yeah.
I'll bring some shorts just in case it actually sneaks up.
I
But
think it's going to be a nice warm up day. It's going to
okay.
feel cooler right out of the gate than it's really going to be the rest of the day. And once that sun creeps out, you get into that stadium. I mean, we're in the stadium at -20, and
Yeah,
you're cold in the tailgate, but you're not really cold in the stadium, right? Because
you're
all
right.
those people and the
You're
vibes
right.
and so I think
You're right.
it's going to be a good, comfortable day. We won't be sweating our ass off, but we won't be, you know,
Freezing
chattering
or
our
anything like
teeth.
that.
Yeah,
No, you're right
yeah.
about that. Well, I really enjoyed tonight's episode, DT. I thank you. We just wanted to get down memory lane and talk about, why we do what we do and then how we became the Bills fans that we are, and then our incredible story of how we met. And again, we're not making it up. Yeah, that's exactly. I did yell out, "Oh, that's Charles Clay for sure." And I literally didn't get your number the night before, and I could not believe my eyes when I saw you the next morning because we were getting after it pretty well the night before on Allen Street, and it was a really fun time for sure. And again, Bills equal family. I consider you family. You know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine being without you, man. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you being a part of Nickel City Crew and my co-host. We've been rocking. You've been rocking with me, man, since like episode 7. Like, I mean, you've been rocking with me, and I was like, man, you might as well just be my co-host because you keep coming on, and we both love broadcasting growing up as well, and we're interested in it. So I really appreciate you, DT. You're like a brother to me, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, love it. Love it, Rob. I mean, we say it all the time. This show itself is awesome and therapeutic and so
Mhm.
good for us just personally in general. But yeah, a great connection, a lifelong friend and brother too, Rob.
Yeah.
literally can't make this shit up. And, we
Yeah.
hit it off and we got great things in our future ahead and really
Absolutely.
excited, for our families to grow and seasons
Mhm.
to grow and
The
throwing
shows,
Lombardi up
yeah.
on
All
the
of it.
shelf
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
have that post Super Bowl Nickel City Crew special and all that's going to happen and it's going to be a good
Yep.
time and yeah, I couldn't ask for a better situation with
Yeah.
this, Rob. So I
It,
appreciate
it's
it, man.
been perfect. It really has been perfect. Shout out almost 800 people watching tonight. And we did look at that. We got you right on time. I'm looking right now at the TV and the game is about to kick off. So Nickel City Crew, we did you right. We didn't keep you too long. We got you ready for the 2024 season kicking off KC Baltimore. I'm really excited, DT. I will see you Saturday, man. And out there, please spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a go Bills, DT. The offseason is over. No more fighting about Diggs. I'm so sick of y'all motherfuckers. I'm so sick of fighting with people on Twitter about Diggs. It's over. I'm not talking about it anymore, man. Let's get to the season. Sunday, let's go. It's on.
Game
Let's
week,
go.
go Bills,
Game week.
1-0.
1-0.
1-0.
I love it. Go Bills. I love it. I love it. I love it.